If you clicked on this video, then you probably have seen the hype surrounding the title called WARDOGS. And there are already hundreds of videos on YouTube with intense moments like this.
Christ! Somebody get me out!
What you have seen in the last 40 seconds is actually footage of almost 5 minutes that felt like hours. However, this is not what WARDOGS is about. Let me explain by showing you the following fairly short clip.
Stop there.
Hey, can you leave us here, please?
If you have skipped to this section, or you felt like watching the drive was really boring, then WARDOGS might actually be not the game for you. There are three main key aspects what makes this game unique. Number 1. The freedom of decisions. You decide the way you want to play this game. If you want some intense action, then get an assault loadout and jump to the front line. Or you could support your team by bringing some supplies to the front line. You can also decide to become a pilot and either transport the soldiers or start blasting the enemy troops from the air. This freedom is what makes WARDOGS feel like a sandbox game, where instead of fulfilling the predefined tasks that developers of the game enforce upon you, that you decide from the variety of activities what suits you as a player and at this current moment the best. Or decide if you want to adopt whatever is needed or currently required by the faction. And the great part is that whatever you do, it actually supports your faction or the team that you're currently playing for, which is really a unique point that you can be a solo player or not even join a squad and still feel like you're part of the team and support the faction in winning the match. The social interaction is also bringing the MMO, so massively multiplayer online, to this FPS shooter. And if you remember, we had fairly recently another example of social interaction at its best, and that was Ark Raiders, where many players even said that it feels like a social experiment. And the same is currently happening in WARDOGS. And whatever positive action you do for your team or your faction, it actually increases also your own progression and the sense of achievement. The loop of progression is fairly addictive in this game, because with every single life or loadout that you get, you achieve more and more, and that achievement gives you the possibility with more experience and more cash that you earn in the matches to unlock even further weapons, further loadouts, improve your possibilities in the game within the matches, and that unlock give you the opportunities to achieve even more things. Now, I don't want to sound like a preacher praising this game into heavens, because there are clearly few issues with WARDOGS, some of which must be addressed by the studio in nearby future for it to succeed. Let's start with a bit more obvious one, which is hype train. Probably most of you have seen on the YouTube suggestions with video thumbnails that look like this. And yes, the game has some unique selling points, but for sure it won't be the savior of the FPS genre or the best game you played ever, so it's important to have the correct expectation when heading into WARDOGS launch. The game design also clearly has an issue with really high troll potential, where just one individual or a small group can just troll the whole faction and make them actually actively lose the match. And I've already seen some of these examples in the beta, that for example one player buys a helicopter, gets 10 players in with their best loadouts and then deliberately crashes it, so everyone loses their loadout and tons shit of money. I've also seen people just opening doors in the FOBs to the enemies, and that was also done on purpose. Now, should this behavior be a reportable offense? Or is that just part of the game? I don't think we can answer yet, honestly. But I'm pretty sure you will run into some matches where you will get triggered really hard by such trolls. There is also an issue with quite predictable meta shifts throughout the seasons. So what you should expect is, just in general, in the beginning of a season, that helicopters and air combat will be dominating quite a lot of matches. Simply because the people won't have any ways to counteract it, like rocket launchers or tanks that can blast the helicopters and so on. Then the meta will continue shifting in towards the infantry being the best, because they will have the required equipment unlocked and the cash saved up for the perfect assault loadouts. And then later in the season we'll see quite a lot of shifts towards heavy armor. That's at least my prediction for now, from what I can see based on the beta experience. Of course, things might get shaken up if the developers change a lot around, but at least for now that's the direction the game will be heading. Throughout the beta I have also encountered quite a high amount of bugs and technical issues. starting from the well-known VoIP disconnects, but also random deaths when being close to wall, random helicopters exploding, destroyed vehicles blocking the progress or blocking the characters inside that you can't get out, you can't respawn, and so on. So we will see if actually these technical issues will get resolved, or if the case happens where developers fix one issue but actually bring two more into the game, how it happened in some of the well-known titles as well. And then last but not least, we have also the limited content variability issue. What I mean by that is, what do you expect in terms of new content in the future from this game? Well, maybe new map, maybe new vehicles, maybe new weapons. But besides that, I think the general way how you play the game and the game modes most likely will stay the same, with just minor adjustments to them. And even though the gameplay loop is really enjoyable so far, it could potentially become boring quite fast as well. That's another point where the developers really have to find ways how to keep things fresh so that it still attracts new players on a monthly basis, because if they don't find a solution for it, then the game will just bleed dry over the months after release. Now, after understanding the unique selling points of this game, but also the issues and potential bottlenecks, you should be able to take a best informed decision whether to invest your time and money into this game or skip it. Personally, I didn't get enough from the beta, so I will be playing on the release date for sure for at least multiple weeks, maybe even months to come, and hope to meet some of you on the battlefield, either as teammates or as somebody that falls to my bullets.